Hi, I'm Meena. Welcome to skillActz. One essential skill required in life, especially for career growth, is lifelong learning. In this video, let's discuss how we learn. Have you ever experienced a complete blank for a question in an exam, not being able to remember the answer, and then all of a sudden, much later, the answer hit you? This is because what you studied was not fully hardwired. For example, when you started learning to drive and tried to reverse your car out of the garage, remember how long it took you and how slowly you did it? And now, if you have been doing for a while, driving for a while, you reverse effortlessly, right? Consider the ease with which pilots and surgeons practice their tasks. This is because learning and skills are hardwired into the brain. Now let's understand about how we get to this level of proficiency. Our brain has two modes, the focused and the diffused. Take the example of not remembering the answer during an exam. You focus so hard and yet draw a blank. But the minute your brain relaxes, the answer strikes you. The thing is, your brain can't hold too much information when you focus too hard. When you're trying to learn something new, you need to pay attention and concentrate. But going at it for hours doesn't help learning. Taking breaks, allowing your brain to switch between the focused and the diffused modes to make neural connections will hardwire the learning. The first step in learning is to connect it with a personal need. For example, if you tell yourself that learning to use Excel will help you organize your data and make better presentations, you are giving yourself a good reason to learn. You will then be more invested in the new learning. Identifying such needs is a first step to making the learning worthwhile and successful. Learning involves your whole personality. Learning involves far more than thinking. It involves the senses, feelings, intuition, beliefs, values, and your will or determination. In other words, all of you. If the learning makes no difference to you as a person, it will be nothing more than that random ideas that flow through your consciousness. So involve more than just your thinking to make the new learning stay. Learn by chunking and repetition. Chunking means breaking up what you are learning into small bits. Take the example of learning to drive. You first learn the gears and then to start and stop the car. If you did everything at once, you would only be confused. So your trainer teaches you in parts or small chunks. Regarding repetition, it shouldn't be confused with rote learning. It is about working on the subject in different ways to get a better understanding of it. For example, remembering the lines of a poem while waiting for a bus, or discussing a project you're working on with friends. When you repeat, you internalize what you want to learn without getting bored or frustrated. Consider how Roger Federer or Virat Kohli play their master strokes. Their moves are effortless, smooth, and almost unconscious. Everything we learn is connected with something previously learned. We learn better when we relate new learning to something we already know. It becomes ingrained like muscle memory, and we can use it whenever required. Learning and environment. Having a designated place to study away from distractions is good, but occasionally you should modify the environment to stimulate learning. It makes learning fun. For example, Roger Federer is a wizard at his game by practicing on different courts under different conditions. Make learning varied to cover different learning styles. Remember the group studies? You made notes, discussed, debated, asked questions, all to understand and learn better. The positive and supportive environment made learning effective and fun. We have a video on learning styles on skillActz. Do watch it. Learning by reflecting. No learning is of value if we don't reflect on what we have learned. Reflection is a self-review to hardwire the learning. The feeling of euphoria in knowing you have learned something new will propel you to further your knowledge. Learning happens when you are engaged. Dopamine is a chemical messenger that is released when you feel happy or when you exercise, do yoga, or spend time at a hobby. The energy released helps you get into a routine that facilitates learning. Learning while sleeping. Yes, I'm not joking. I'm sure you've been given the advice to sleep over it. Remember a problem in a project you were struggling with? After a good night's sleep, you woke up with the answer as if by magic. The brain uses sleep to make neural connections and to cleanse itself of toxins. You wake up feeling fresh and solutions to problems come easily. In conclusion, learn to alternate between focusing on the topic of study and relaxing to help brain switch between focused and diffused modes. Chunk things into bits, relate new learning to previous knowledge. Repeat your learning cycles at periodic intervals. Develop a regimen of exercise to keep your body and mind active. Ensure you sleep well to stay fresh and alert. Happy learning to you. Did you like this video? Do like and subscribe and follow us on skillActz. Thank you and bye for now.